If Microsoft acquires Activision Blizzard, which I'm pretty confident that they're going to, they're going to own the best games out there. Call of Duty, Overwatch, you got Diablo, okay, World of Warcraft. People play that still. I'll tell you right now, Microsoft will be the number one game publisher out there. It's without a doubt. Just having Call of Duty alone will put them on top. Okay, and this is what Sony is afraid of. And I can't say I blame them. Say you're Sony, okay? You love having Call of Duty on your platform, okay? You're going to fight your number one competitor to not control Call of Duty, because right now, I remember back in the day, the Xbox 360 days, I remember Microsoft had the marketing rights to Call of Duty. And where did I buy Call of Duty? I bought it on Xbox. Okay, I thought that was like the Call of Duty system, right? And it was on PlayStation as well. And then Sony acquired the marketing rights to Call of Duty, and then eventually I switched over. I started getting Call of Duty on PlayStation. Okay, I mean, I had PS4, I had Xbox One, and then I figured, let me try the game on PlayStation this year. They gave you a few extra perks. Why not? And since then, always gotten on PlayStation. This is the first year since Modern Warfare 2 came out that I got it on Xbox, and I got it on Xbox again, pretty much because I like to control it better on Xbox. I mean, that's as far as it goes for me, anyway. But there are perks to getting it on PlayStation because you get some extra content. All right, and Sony knows this, so they mark the hell out of Call of Duty. They put it in their showcases. They put the game, the trailer, gameplay, whatever, in their showcases, and they market the hell out of it. And they give you extra perks for having Call of Duty, for PlayStation consoles. Okay, I get it. All right, they don't want that game going anywhere. Okay, but Sony could be a very greedy company. Okay, and I remember, I forget where I read this, but Xbox apparently was offering, like, we're going to keep Call of Duty on your platform, on any platform that they want, if they acquire Activision Blizzard for the next 10 years. And Sony said poo-poo to that. Sony didn't want any part of that. They said, no, 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 we're still going to make this hard for you. Okay, and I think that's a little much. Okay, but I do see where they're coming from, because if Xbox controls Call of Duty, that's the biggest player in the game to control. Okay, the sales for Call of Duty are through the roof every year, and there really isn't a bad Call of Duty game. There isn't. Okay, I mean, there's different themes to Call of Duty, but the gameplay, the core gameplay of it is fantastic. Warzone is fantastic, and people complain about it, but it's good. It's funny, the people who complain about Warzone play Warzone every day. I watch them stream. They're playing every day and they complain about it. They're like, I quit this game. Next day, what are they doing? They're playing Warzone. Okay, it's always going to sell, and Sony's afraid that if Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, that they're not going to get a fair piece of the pie. Okay, now let's talk about this. Sony just recently acquired, I keep saying Sony, PlayStation Studios recently acquired Bungie. Okay, now Bungie, as we know, developed Halo 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and they worked hand in hand with Xbox, and now they're working hand in hand with PlayStation. And you're not going to tell me that there's going to be exclusive Destiny content coming to the PlayStation console platforms in the future. They already had exclusive content for Destiny on the PlayStation consoles. Okay, and now that Bungie is under the umbrella of PlayStation Studios, okay, who knows how much more content they're going to get. And let's see what Sony does with Destiny. And I play Destiny on Xbox. I had Destiny 1 on Xbox. I have Destiny 2 on Xbox, which I really have to get back into, because Destiny 2 is fantastic. It really is. I really got to get back into it, okay? I think the latest expansion I played was Shadowkeep, so I'm very behind in Destiny, but I'm very good at Destiny, so I can see myself catching up real quick. And now, you do an update, your light level is so high, I should just breeze right through those other expansions. But anyhow, that's a story for another day. But I definitely want to get back into it. So now here, let's paint this picture. I'm a gamer, a Xbox gamer who has Destiny on the Xbox console. Is Destiny going to go away from Xbox? So, PlayStation's in charge of it, right? So, I don't see Microsoft complaining to Sony about that. I mean, granted, Destiny isn't as big as Call of Duty, but it's nothing to sneeze at, okay? And nothing to shake your head at, right? So what am I going to do? I'm not going to get any other Destiny 2 expansions. If they make a Destiny 3, what happens then? You know what I mean? I don't see Microsoft complaining about that with Sony, okay? So Sony is doing what they need to do. In a way, I can't blame them. But they are a little bit... I get the impression that Sony doesn't care as much about their customers, their gamers. They say they do, as Microsoft does, okay? Each game that comes out, you got a big game coming out on Xbox, and it's from Xbox Game Studios. It's in Game Pass. Look at Hi-Fi Rush that just came out, okay? Look at Redfall that's coming out. Look at Starfield that's coming out, okay? All in Game Pass. I don't see Sony putting, Ratchet and Clank in their game service. Okay, I don't see them putting God of War Ragnarok in their PlayStation Plus membership tiers. I don't see them doing that. I actually just recently, literally just before I came on stream tonight, I just saw that they're putting Horizon Forbidden West into PlayStation Plus. I literally just saw it before I started streaming. Great. In my opinion, it should have been in there from the start, okay? But it brings me back to the first article that I brought up tonight. They know that those games, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Ratchet and Clank, all of these, Gran Turismo, okay? All of these first-party Sony-produced games, right, are going to sell at $70 a pop. They're going to sell. And they feel is if they put them in a service like, Game Pass, or in their case, PlayStation Plus, they're not going to make as much money. Because selling individual units of these games generates more revenue. It's just common sense. I mean, let me know in the chat if you think I'm wrong, but that seems like business 101 to me. Okay? But getting back to this Activision deal, Sony don't want this to happen. I can't say I blame them in a sense, but Microsoft hasn't been greedy in this deal. They offered Sony, we're going to have Call of Duty on PlayStation for at least the next 10 years. It's a pretty generous offer. Who knows where Call of Duty is going to be in 10 years? That's 10 years away. Let's be real. Where's it going to be at? So to offer that is pretty fair, in my opinion. I don't see, Sony opening up their pocketbook for Activision Blizzard. They're not doing that. Microsoft is, though. But they're going to stop them, though, right? Because it's not fair. What's not fair about it? They're willing to pay to acquire these studios. It is what it is. They said yes. It is what it is. They offered to you that you're going to have Call of Duty on your platform for at least the next 10 years. It is what it is. You're not doing anything about it. You're just crying in the corner. All right? And that's the greed of Sony in a sense. Okay?